continues with strikes on military and nuclear sites across Iran. Iran retaliates with strikes at Israeli civilian locations.
I'm surprised
President
that
Trump
shit get
announced
through though.
Me too, because they asked
What
about
the fuck?
how's it getting through like that.
Get through.
Analysis from IDF Reserve Major Elliot Shoda and Jeff Balaban from the ACLJ, and one man's harrowing account of a missile attack and how God saved him and his family.
I bet you Israel
this edition of Jerusalem Dateline.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Jerusalem Dateline. I'm Chris Mitchell. The countdown is underway. President Trump has announced a time frame of 2 weeks for making a decision about joining Israel in attacking Iran's nuclear program.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Israel is continuing its strikes on Iranian military and missile sites and working to protect its civilians from retaliatory attacks. Here's the latest on these and other stories.
Oh, good chance to finish.
Roka Hospital in Beersheba took a direct hit. One of the doctors there stated, "Just yesterday, we evacuated the old surgical building that took a direct hit today. It's a great miracle." As Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz put it, these are the most severe kinds of war crimes, and Khamenei will be held accountable for his crimes. Katz described Israel's new goal, destabilize the Ayatollah regime. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Trump has approved the Iran attack plans, but is holding off on giving the orders, according to the Wall Street Journal. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office, Trump says he's not looking for a fight with Iran.
But if it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do. We're not looking for a ceasefire. We're looking for a total, complete victory. Again, you know what the victory is? No nuclear weapon.
In an address to the nation Wednesday night, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked the president for standing by Israel and told Israelis the goals of the war.
We've embarked on this operation to eliminate two existing threats to the state of Israel, the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat. We're moving step by step towards eliminating these threats. We control the skies over Iran. We're striking the Ayatollah's regime with tremendous force. We're striking the nuclear weapons, the missiles, the headquarters, the symbols of the regime.
Despite the attack,
There you go. So now we can start talking about what is the podcast going to be about. What you looking for? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Are we gonna take this serious? Or
Yeah. Well, see, that's the difference between like I was explaining to everyone, it's like a conversation you have at work, and you get different opinions.
Right.
You know, and it's coming from all three of our opinions on the topic that we talk about.
So, how often we're gonna be meeting? Every Saturday to talk about what's going on? Is it we're talking about worldly things, country things, city things? You know what I'm saying? Or are we just talking about things that affect us and our community?
I think that would be. I think overall of everything, and I don't want to get involved in relationships. I think the relationships podcast are oversaturated.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I think us being new, I think we should venture out on everything.
I'm not saying I'm just saying that.
Don't make that a main, like every week we come and talk about, oh yeah, this relationship. Yeah, I get that, because that becomes boring. Because everybody's not going to agree anyway. So I figured I think we should be able to touch on pretty much everything. I think the three of us, we all close to 60 or even 60s.
You didn't have to go there.
Right. He went
You didn't have to go there. You didn't
Well,
have to tell people that.
I stopped aging years ago.
Right, because I was looking at some dye. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, it don't matter how much dye you put on that, you gonna be that old. But anyway, I think that I just think we need to touch bases on a lot. Between the three of us, we've seen a lot, especially prior military. I just think we all seen a lot and we've done a lot, and I think we'd be able to talk about a lot, And I think we being that we are pretty much down to earth, the three of us, I think all three of us are down to earth, meaning we open to anything, because I know being around you guys for the past 20-something years, we talk about anything. we objective on everything. I mean, sometimes we have our opinion and we side on certain things, but we do come to it like, okay, maybe that person got a point. You know, we're not stuck on it. What we say is the goal or is law. I think we just need to be able to touch on everything, anything that's going on. And I don't know if we get into this where we make it personal about ourselves, because sometimes you can get into that and you start putting your life. And I think a lot of people want to hear about you, because if you're talking about something, you should have some kind of experience in it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You should have known, or if you don't have experience, you should know somebody who had experience.
Right.
So I think when we touch on stuff like that, we got to do our research, like we was talking about earlier. We got to do our research. So I don't know if we talk about sports. I don't know who's into sports. I like sports. You don't care for it. Dave, you do, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Right. I'm good. I mean, I ain't gonna say good, but I like it. I mean, but that's just to throw off the seriousness of everything else. You know what I'm saying? We gotta throw some comedy or whatever. You know, we just gotta do different things to make us different than, you know, all these podcasts that we got out here. So we just gotta look into, you know, what's gonna make us, what's gonna elevate us, and always at the same time elevate us, get the interest of the people that we're talking to.
Right. What you think?
I agree. I agree. You know, like I said, we all come from different aspects. He's a Navy man. You're an Army man. I'm a Majority yet.
Yes, he is. And we're not just saying Marines.
The same ones that Trump brought to the parade, to mess the parade up.
No, we didn't mess up the parade. No, that was the Army messed that parade.
Yeah, the Army messed that up.
That was the Army.
Yeah.
Marine Corps would not have did that. I'm sorry. They would not have done that. No.
It's crazy.
We
They would have been on them.
we were protesting.
So
One thing, like I said, one thing you could, even with that, like I said, even with that thing, we'd have got the Marines from headquarters. They would have been the ones that would have been marching out there. And you can't be clowning working at the Marine Corps headquarters.
Why headquarters?
They wouldn't have got nobody, because one, they'd been too far to drag somebody from North Carolina or South Carolina with was that 2nd Marine Division? Yeah, that's 2nd Marine Division. So they probably just used the people headquarters for the Marine Corps. And they'd put out the we'd address for that.
They didn't have no Navy there.
Well, you can't
They could have somebody.
drag the boat.
why would you have Navy there?
Got a canoe.
Why would you have Navy there?
It should have been what he should have
It
done
was a
though.
celebration of the Army.
Of the Army, but
It
he should have made a celebration of all the Army.
Exactly. But
That's what he should have done.
but what you have to understand, it was a celebration of the Army, but this was Trump's way of thinking he was supposed to be celebrated.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because remember, it was on his birthday.
Right.
So everybody, and he's standing there saluting. Where do you see that at? We see that in the Soviet Union. We see it in Korea. You see it in China. That's how they do the parades.
Right.
But those are communist countries ran by dictators.
Right.
This is what this man wants to be, a dictator. And nobody seems to understand it, or not don't seem to understand it. They don't want to accept that this is what this man wants to do.
I think that they don't want to accept it because they haven't been a part of it yet. But when it affects them, then they're gonna start complaining.
No, all of them, he's affected everybody. He's affected everybody. But the thing is, to go back to what you said, it's not about, to me, being affecting them. The people that's not saying anything are the people who don't want to lose power. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm standing with Trump because if I don't, Trump's going to do something that make me lose my position.
Right.
That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with
You lose your political base.
No,
back
exactly.
home.
You know,
You know,
but
that's why a lot of
people are
senators
finding out,
are-
especially the Latino world, is finding out how Trump lied to them.
Mm-hmm.
He lied to them. I mean, you look at it; they're taking away people from my understanding. I don't know how true this is. They say women having babies and they snatching them right out of birth, after birth. Not the babies, the women.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, what is really going on? What is happening in our country that we cannot sit and be civilized and understand what is going on is wrong? What is going on is just dead wrong. We are living in a society where anything goes. This president is destroying our United States Constitution, and nobody is saying anything. Nobody. Nobody cares. As long as President Trump, as long as he's doing what he's doing, and there's no repercussion, he's going to keep doing it. That's like you and me. If we doing something we like to do and nobody's checking us, excuse me, there's no checks and balances on it, guess what? I'm going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that they noticed about with this cabinet that he has now. You know, all of them are yes men.
Exactly.
They're not going to dispute nothing that he says.
Exactly.
The one he had in his first term, of course, he's getting back. You know, people was like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you cannot do that from everywhere. So, you know, this time around, he made sure he's surrounded by nothing but yes men.
Yep. And everything he does is okay with
Right.
them.
Everything.
Everything. I mean, I just feel so bad for the next generation. You know, even us to serve out these 4 years, because we're serving it with him.
Mm-hmm.
We serving it with him.
Right.
And see, what people fail to realize, and it's just my opinion, I think he's doing things to deflect from something bigger that he has planned. And listen, I don't have any proof of it or anything, but that's just me. I just think the little stuff he's getting a little attention on, or we paying attention to, he's got something bigger. He's planning something bigger. He wants to keep us focused over here so he can do something over here.
Well, that was the plan, though.
Yeah.
The plan was this: every day bombard the public with a bunch of stuff, so you'll never watch out for what the real thing is going on this side.
And I believe that. I believe that he throwing so much stuff out there.
Yeah, but that was the plan.
But see, especially with us black people, like we sit up here not paying attention to Trump because we paying attention to what Beyonce is doing, what these athletes are doing with their personal lives. That the politics that affect our lives, we let them handle it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said when we talked about the demonstration, I feel that it's a process of elimination. Once they get rid of all the ones they want to get rid of, then they're coming for us. They doing it right now with teardrops,
Oh yeah.
Right.
trying to erase the history,
Yeah.
trying to take the history out of the White House,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
replace the names back on the military posters.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it with teardrops.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now they got us focusing on all the immigrants and the Mexicans
Oh, yeah.
and everything like that there, and we not doing anything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep watching them have these meetings with the lady that's supposed to be over education, and she's the guy with the wrestling thing, the
Right.
wife.
That's the wife. Right.
How did she make it there?
Right.
Because it goes back to what he said. Yes, man. Yes, man. These people they're not qualified to
Right.
run
And
this
none of
country.
them
None of
qualified.
them, his cabinet that he's picked are not qualified to
qualified.
run this country.
Right.
But because he has the right to pick whomever he wants. I mean, look at the Secretary. The Secretary of Defense, Hexon. Is it Hexon? Look at him. He was a Fox commentator.
Right.
You put him over the United States military.
Right.
Come on, man.
Over the military.
What? Because you served, that qualifies you? What about all the people that's been in the Pentagon, that's been there, that knows the ins and outs? You didn't pick them. Because you're supposed to separate that from politics. You listen to some of the stuff this man is saying on television or the news conference or at hearings. All he's doing is saying what Trump wants.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. He's a puppet. You in a position, you have the control over 330 million Americans. Militarily. You are the man. You're supposed to separate yourself from this. But then it also has to be some kind of diplomacy where you guys have to control the president. We know there's 3 branches of the government: judicial, executive, and legislative. The other 2 have not done anything. The judicial and the legislative part. Nobody in Congress has done anything. This bill they just passed, they say it's terrible. It's going to raise the deficits by $3 trillion, they say. I'm not an expert, I'm not an economist. I'm going by what it's saying. And this is not just about one people. A lot of people are saying this, but nobody is doing anything. The House has passed it.
Right.
He's getting,
Senate still has to-
yeah, he's getting a little pushback from the Senate, but watch it pass. Because if they don't pass it, he's gonna do something to a certain senator who disagrees, a Republican that disagrees, put his name out there, and that Republican's gonna do what? Lose his or her position. And that loses power. It's not about, ask yourself, when the last time have you seen the Congress, the president, politicians pass a law that's really helped Americans? They don't do that. They in there arguing them damn selves. They're not doing nothing for us. They're doing things for themselves. Because they want that power. They want to keep control. That's what it's all about.
But that's the same thing with, I guess you can say poor people. As long as they are relaxed when their position they're in, they're getting their entitlements that they think they deserve, they're not going to say anything.
That's because you get that. It's a totally different thing. Because and I say with the poor folks, they're not in power. What's happening with them is that they're okay being where they at. But the system has set it that way. So I'm gonna give you just enough, so you're comfortable.
Content.
That's it.
Content.
To keep you content. That's all. So you don't make a rah-rah. You don't make any noise.
Right.
And we tend to do that. Like people think, you see black people on welfare. But come on, dog. There's more white folks on welfare than there's blacks.
That's right.
There's more white people on welfare than there's blacks. You want to keep talking about black this or these blacks shouldn't do this, these blacks shouldn't have that. Go back to your own country. Dude, read history. Y'all ain't supposed to be this. This ain't y'all country. Y'all stole it. So we just, if you look at what this president doing and his cabinet and his cronies, like you said earlier, they setting everything in place to misplace or remove us. They trying, and if they haven't done it already, I know down in Florida, they taking a lot of black stuff out of education, out of their history. But they're allowing it to happen.
That's what I'm going to say.
They're allowing it to
That's what I'm
happen.
about to say. Black people are allowing it to happen.
Nobody is standing up and fighting this. That's the thing.
And that really bothered me because the other day, the day before Father's Day, I went looking for some other stuff I needed for Father's Day. And I go up here to Aldi's, and next to Aldi's it's not Foot Locker, it was, what was the black store that sold black shoes and clothes? They changed to another name. Mr. Allen, when they...
Oh, okay.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's another name for it.
Right.
Mr. Allen's. I can't think of it. It's the shoe store still, and they still closed and all that. It used to be Mr. Allen's, but they changed the name.
Right.
And I can't think of the name. It's one right there on Telegraph in 96.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name. I know what you're talking about.
City Slickers?
No.
I'm sorry, that's old.
Dude, that's yeah, you know you from Detroit.
Yeah, and he ain't bought when the last time you bought a
When
pair of Gators?
Right.
When the last time you bought a pair of
Gators?
That Gators was $300 last time.
Right.
Now they bought $7,000.
Right.
When the last time you bought a pair of Gators? Yeah, you still get them.
I still got mine.
But my point is, when I get up there in the morning, I get up there at 8
I
o'clock.
wore mine about 2 weeks ago. Go ahead.
I get up there about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a line out there for gym shoes already.
Jordans?
I don't know who they were. I don't know what kind of gym shoes.
Probably Jordans. Probably Jordans.
That's what we usually line up for, the Jordans.
Yeah, that's what we normally line up for, Jordans.
And I was thinking, when I saw the line was, if I bought these pair of shoes, and I'm at the bus stop, you at the bus stop with me, you at the bus stop with me, how could you tell I was the one in line to get these shoes?
Because I see them on your feet.
What difference does it make?
I don't think I don't know if these people are actually wearing these shoes.
So you think they're getting them and selling them?
I think they just, I don't know, they hoard them or what.
Some people do that.
Right. Because I know my daughter, she does that. She buys these gym shoes and she just hoards them. I don't think she wears them. I'm like, that's a waste of money. But
But
they got their own hobby, right?
But I'm gonna say, why would you talk about her when you buy comic books? You don't read them. You read them once, and you put them up.
But they're not that expensive.
That's an investment.
Well, when he started, it was 10 cents.
They were not 10 cents, they're 20 cents, but okay then.
And how much are they now?
$3.
$3.99
For the same amount of pages
$4.99.
that you was
I
paying.
think it's $4.99 now.
That you was paying 10 cents
The
for
average
when you
cost
started.
is the average cost of a comic book now is $4.99.
Really? So I'm not into comic books. I'm not into any of that. I think the